Hello. This diagram explains the work of sea waves, that is erosion and deposition. The sea performs the work of erosion and deposition through sea waves, aided by currents, tides and storms. So here the erosive work of sea waves depends on the size and strength of waves. Why strength of waves? High tide and low tide occurs. So during high tide, more of erosive action takes place. And height of the shore between low and high tides. That is height of the waves during the high tide and low tide influence this. The composition of rocks and the depth of the water. When the wave breaks along the seashore rocks, it develops a considerable force. The pressure exerted is from 3000 to 30,000 kilograms per square meter. The air contained in the cracks in rocks is violently compressed as a wave advances towards the coast. This is followed by an expansion of the air as the wave retreats. The sudden expansion of the air has an explosive effect, resulting in a widening of cracks. That is, this contraction and expansion always break the rock. Sea waves, like glaciers and the wind, are more effective in breaking down hard rocks when they are armed with loose fragments. So the waves carrying the loose fragments in them move against the rocks. So there is a friction, there is a collision. Due to that, you find more of erosion taking place by the waves. So erosion also takes place as a result of solvent and chemical action of sea waves. But it becomes important only where the soluble rocks such as limestone and chalk are under attack. So you find more of landscapes in these regions. So here in this diagram, we can see the original surface, and because of the sea waves eroded this portion, you find a notch formed. So what happened? This is impermeable. This is the soft rock. So what happened? The soft rocks get eroded by the sea waves, and you find a cave formation. And the top portion of the rock or hill, you find stands as if it looks like a head. So this part of the rock is called cliff, and this portion is eroded, and here you find, because of the difference in the that is the height of the shore, as well as the difference between the height of waves during high tide and low tide decide. So the deposits made by the waves along the coastline, you find the deposition of sand, that is beach. So such places are filled with sand. This deposit of sand is called beach. So this is the difference between high tide level and low tide level. During high tide, we know the waves move nearer the land. During low tide, you find it retreats. So you find the water level goes down. So here you find this change in the landscape. And wave cut terrace. So this has been both high tide, the waves during high tide level and low tide keep influencing this area. So you find in due course you have a wave cut terraces formed. So this shows the coastline, this shows the shoreline. So all these changes are happening between these. Now let's see the features, that is the depositional features of sea waves. Hello. Now let's see the depositional features. Sea cliff. When the coast facing the sea has a scarp face, it is known as a sea cliff. So here you find the tip of the rock facing the sea. To start with, the wave wears away a groove in the rock at sea level called notch along such a coast. This notch gradually widens to undermine the overhanging rock until it slides or falls into the sea. When the waves constantly beat against the sea cliffs, they start receding and the land gradually, so this is what happens, and the land gradually gets owned out by the grinding action of tossing water armed with rock fragments. So rock fragments in the water, sea water, when it moves against the rock, it erodes. So this portion is worn down by the sea waves. In India, examples of sea cliffs standing like a vertical wall or receding are found on the western coast of India. Now we'll see sea caves. Waves erode weak rocks faster than the resistant. So the top portion is the resistant ones, hard rock. The bottom is the soft rock. Where rocks are traversed by joints, faults, or bands of weak rocks, the differential erosion by waves leads to the formation of sea cave. So if this portion has developed already cracks, fault, that cracks and fault may be due to weathering and due to other running water, rainwater, wind. So what happened? It further becomes weakened by the sea waves. So you find the formation of caves. Caves generally occur when the overhanging rock is strong enough to stand without much support. So you can see in some places it will be, this place will be thin, the bottom portion. So it has a strong support even though the bottom portion is eroded. When sea waves work from opposite direction, are able to cut through the caves, a sea arch or a natural bridge is the result. The portion left standing on a subsequent collapse of a sea arch is called a stack. So here you have stack. So the products of wave erosion coupled with the sediments emptied into the sea or redeposited by waves and currents. Because it keeps, there is a flow, it keeps coming towards the coast and moving back. The marine deposits along the shore modify. So the sediments or products which are brought by the sea waves, they make changes here, the coastline. So the marine deposits along the shore modify. When they get collected, when they get deposited, you find beach, spits and bars. So what this is erosive action, this is erosive action. Here the rock from all sides are eroded and this portion standing alone, which is known as stack. So these are all formed by erosive action of waves. But the sea waves cause deposition also by bringing the marine sediments from the sea, and they are collected, they are accumulated on the shore. Depositional features are formed. Those features are beaches, spits, and bars. In this video, you can see spit, bar, and AF. These are all deposits made by sea waves. Beach, we have seen in the previous diagram. Beach gathers a temporary deposit of sand, gravel, and pebbles on the shore between the low tide level and the coastline. The beach grows in size during periods of less active wave attack, so that the deposit of sand is not taken back by the wave. That is what this is how the beaches, the deposit is retained. It may be destroyed by tsunami and other natural factors. Spit is a ridge or this embankment of materials. This is a natural embankment. That is, more and more deposits are collected here and it forms like a ridge, a little elevated area by the sea waves. And it is attached to this mainland. This refers to land portion, that is sea. So it is spit on one side. You can see that it is into the sea. The other side you can see spit is attached with mainland. It is formed when the waves deposit the rock waste tangentially to the headland. So this is the headland. Or it runs roughly parallel to the shoreline. Headlands are generally formed in resistant rocks, whereas bays are common in non-resistant rocks, because wherever the sea waves erode, so there you find non-resistant rocks, there you find seawater enters the land, there the formation of bay is found. It may or may not be tied at both ends to land. The seawater enclosed between the coast and the bar becomes partially enclosed lake known as lagoon. So here off is marked here. So this is also off. That is lagoon. This is referred to the lagoon. It may be in smaller size. This portion is enclosed by land and seawater enters here, and this part of the seawater enclosed by land. So such formation is known as lagoon, and since it's like a lake, it is a lagoon lake. A lagoon generally maintains connection with the open sea through a narrow gap between the bar and the headlands. So that is what we see here, bar and the headland. So it's a open. So it is with the connected with the sea here. In India, we have Chilka and Pulicat lakes along the east coast and Vembanad on the Kerala coast in the west. They are examples of lagoons in India. So these are all depositions. And in some places you find the land, the coast will be eroded like this, so there will be more cuts. If you look at the map of Europe, you find the coastline will not be a straight line. You find there are so many cuts. So that is because of the sea waves. So they have made many inlets. These areas these areas are useful for developing fishing harbors, and they are called fjords. FIORDS, fjords. Eroded land, so the seawater gets inside, and that area is ideal for developing fishing harbor. This is called fjords.